All right, what's going on, lifestyle builders? Back with you today with another book, surprise, surprise. And the book here today is called Good to Great. And I'll tell you, this is one of the books I read early on, and it had a big impact on my life. Now that I say that, I feel like I say that about every book. But I mean, the reality is there's a lot that you can get from books. But what I want to talk to you guys today about is what are you willing to sacrifice to really get the ideal life that you're looking for? And I want to read you guys a quick quote from this book. So this book actually starts out with the first chapter. It's called Good is the Enemy of Great. So good is the enemy of great. And that is one of the key reasons why we have so little that becomes great. We don't have great schools principally because we have good schools. We don't have great government principally because we have a good enough government. Few people attain great lives in a large part because it is just so easy to settle for a good life. The vast majority of companies never become great precisely because the vast majority become pretty good. And I think that's an important lesson for us all to consider and think about as we're living our lives and as we're growing our businesses is, are you good enough, and are you settling for good enough instead of really being great? And I'll tell you, for a long time, we were settling with good enough and we were comfortable enough. Coming out of school, we both had degrees. I got a job. Ariana got, a job that wasn't really in her field. But through the last couple of years, we were able to really build a pretty good life for ourselves. We had a decent amount of money coming in. We had nice house, nice cars, all of what from the outside would look like a really good life. But on the flip side, I also look at how long it's taken us to build our businesses to this level and for us to get to this point. And I see other people out there who are doing it in a much shorter time period. So I'm not, comparing and, looking at like, well, why could they do it sooner than us? It's not about that. But what I've been looking at is, well, how were they able to do it much faster? We're pretty smart, have pretty good degrees. We've done a lot. So why are they able to do it faster? And the one thing that Ariana and I have really come to, over the last, year especially, has been, we've really gotten comfortable. Right? We had everything that we needed, and what was happening was that we weren't pushing ourselves to that next level because we were comfortable. And as a result of that, we weren't able to make the impact that we really want to have on other people because, we weren't willing to push ourselves that way. And so for a lot of people, what ends up happening is that you get to this comfortable level and you're afraid of losing what you have to go after what you really want to have. Right? So what I want to ask you guys today and challenge you guys to think about is, if you're not at the place you want to be at yet, start thinking about, are you too comfortable? And what are you willing to sacrifice now? And that sacrifice is only going to be a temporary sacrifice to get to where you want to be, right? Because far too many people say they want to be somewhere or say they want to achieve a certain level of results, but aren't willing to make the sacrifices that are required for that. And far too often what people don't see is that the people that are successful are the ones that made that sacrifices, but they're likely not coming out and telling you that, right? Nobody is writing a story in the Entrepreneur magazine talking about the person that downgraded their life, that, moved into a smaller house to give them the leeway and the runway to build their dreams, right? That's not a sexy story. What's sexy is they tell you about the awesome company they built and how it seemed like an overnight success. When the reality was, it wasn't an overnight success. It took years, and it took a lot of sacrifice from that entrepreneur along the way. So just realize that every successful entrepreneur makes those sacrifices. And what I want you guys to think about is, what sacrifices are you not making that you should be now to help give you more of the runway and more of the motivation to get to where you want to be so that you can then come back and have that life you want. All right. So if you guys are thinking about this, leave a note in the comments about, what are you thinking about that you could sacrifice for a short period of time to help get you to where you want to be. And if you guys are looking for more guidance in this, in building your ideal life and helping build the business to get you there, definitely join the waitlist for Lifestyle Builders, because this is the whole reason that we put this course in place. We've had to learn a lot over the last 10 years as we built our businesses and really figured out how to get clear on the lives we want and work towards that. And really what Lifestyle Builders is all about is helping you guys do the same thing. So that doesn't mean that you have to have necessarily the same businesses we have or be on the same path. But what we have is a lot of tools and frameworks and guides that are going to help you guys get there. So like I said, if you guys are interested in that, hop on the wait list. We're actually sharing more in-depth stuff with people on the wait list, and there's some pretty cool bonuses that we're going to offer to people on the wait list. So we'll put the link down below. But like I said, leave a comment with one thing that you could sacrifice short term that would help you ultimately get to the life that you want.